this study is the analysis of ipatasertib cohort A, ipatasertib 130 cohort A. And this clinical trial builds off phase 2 results from the LOTUS trial. And the LOTUS trial looked at the combination of ipatasertib, or IPAT, in combination with paclitaxel chemotherapy compared to paclitaxel chemotherapy alone in patients with metastatic triple-negative breast cancer. These patients were all treated in the early metastatic setting, meaning in their first line of therapy for advanced disease. And in the LOTUS trial, there actually was a signal of improved overall survival with the combination of IPAT plus paclitaxel compared to paclitaxel and placebo. So this phase 3 trial intended to look at that same general population with the same combination of chemotherapy plus IPAT, the AKT inhibitor. The thing that was different about the phase 3 trial is that it was limited to a biomarker selected group of triple negative patients, meaning those with either PIK3CA, AKT, or PTEN pathway alterations. In the phase 2 LOTUS trial, these patients were included, but also metastatic triple negative patients without biomarker alterations were also included. And the results of that study were reported for the unselected or intent to treat, as well as the biomarker selected population. So here in ipatasertib 130, we saw the first reveal of the results for both progression-free survival and overall survival for patients treated with the combination of the AKT inhibitor and chemotherapy compared to the chemotherapy of placebo. And pretty surprisingly, what was found is that there was actually no difference in both progression-free survival and overall survival, despite this being a population that should have been enriched for results because of the biomarker selection. So I think this is a little bit puzzling given what we saw from really encouraging phase 2 results. And in fact, this biomarker selected population was done because in the phase 2 trial, patients that were positive for the biomarkers actually had a greater signal of response. So I think that this leaves open the question of what to do with AKT inhibitors in metastatic breast cancer. Of course, here in metastatic triple-negative breast cancer, I don't know that the story is over because we still have to contend with those positive phase 2 results, and it was actually positive phase 2 results across 2 studies. So I think we want to explain that more, and there are biomarker studies coming out of ipatasertib 130 that hopefully will show us maybe a subpopulation within this clinical trial population that may benefit. It also leads to the idea that there is more heterogeneity among this group, even though clinically they're all grouped together as patients with metastatic triple-negative breast cancer. So I think although the study results are a little disappointing given what we saw in the phase 2 setting, hopefully we will be able to gain more information from this clinical trial population to find a group of patients where this drug has a meaningful impact. And then I think the AKT story in metastatic breast cancer in general is still one that merits further exploration, as there are trials of these agents in also the metastatic hormone receptor positive space in which we might expect to see a different result.